Welcome to TPM Vid's Disney Beat, where we talk about all things Disney. If you're new to the channel and like what you see, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. You can also find us on all your favorite social media platforms. There is never a dull moment when it comes to Disney theme park news. From ride refurbishments to attraction closures, the holiday season, show delays, and the opening of Tiana's Bayou adventure, there is a lot to discuss at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. So sit back as we count down 10 new attractions, updates, and changes coming to the Disney theme parks. Number 10. Let's start over at Magic Kingdom, where it was announced that Big Thunder Mountain will close on January 6, 2025 for an extended refurbishment. Now, when Disney says extended refurbishment, they really mean it. The last day to experience the classic Disney Mountain will be on January 5th, and it's not set to reopen until 2026, along with some new enhancements. Big Thunder Mountain has been in operation since 1979, and with the track nearing the end of its lifespan, it appears the coaster will be completely retracked. The ride at Disneyland already went through the same process back in 2013. It's also been rumored that the final lift hill will finally be upgraded with the dynamite effects from Disneyland. Now, a recent permit that was filed revealed an expiry date of March 13, 2026. From the ride closing, this is just over 14 months, which is the exact same time it took to refurbish the ride at Disneyland. So I want to say we can expect Big Thunder Mountain to reopen probably by Easter of 2026. Number 9. Next, let's look at some Disneyland construction updates. Work on the Main Street train station is still underway, and although a completion date is unknown, the Disneyland Railroad has resumed operation. This also includes the reopening of New Orleans Station, since the transformation of Magnolia Park is finally complete. In these photos from Luke and Enzo at Critter Club HQ, you can see how they retain the charm of what was there before. The details are gorgeous and it all looks fantastic. Now, in terms of the extended queue for Haunted Mansion, well, they're still working on that, but at this point, it probably isn't too far from being complete. I mean, just 6 days ago, Magnolia Park looked like this when I visited. So it seems like they've been picking up the pace. When I was at the park, they were painting the new Haunted Mansion gift shop, but just recently, construction walls did come down. The shop isn't open yet, but honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of it so far. It feels kind of cheap and doesn't fit in with the overall aesthetic of New Orleans Square. Maybe they still aren't finished set decorating and painting, but a big issue I have is the scale of the building. When you look at the original piece of concept art, it appears much smaller and is set further back. They essentially built a full-scale stable right beside the Haunted Mansion, which uses a lot of forced perspective. The mansion now looks tiny next to this gift shop, so it's definitely some major oversight. I just think that overall they could have done a lot better with this project. What do you think? Number 8. Well, the countdown to extinction for Dino Land is drawing near. Disney just announced the first set of closures for construction to begin on Tropical Americas. Mark your calendars for January 12th, 2025, because this will be the very last day to experience Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama. This includes the closure of Triceratops Spin, the carnival games, as well as the gift shop. Everything else in the land, including Dinosaur, Restaurantosaurus, and the Boneyard, will remain open for the time being, but be prepared for those to probably close at some point next year. I feel like we could see the Boneyard close in spring, then Restaurantosaurus and Dinosaur will hopefully stay open until June or so, but it could be earlier or it could be later. Now, obviously, all this is closing to make way for construction on Tropical Americas, and the area that closes in January needs the most work since that's where the new Encanto ride will be built, and that is all new construction. Now, just recently, Disney filed another permit for Tropical Americas, which gives us an even better idea of the size and scale of the Encanto show building. We saw it in the physical model that was on display at D23, but this map in the permits confirms that it is massive. This here is the Madrigal Casita, and this is the show building for the entire Encanto ride. To put it into perspective, the dinosaur show building is about 1.7 acres, and when we overlay Encanto over top of it, you can see it's practically the same size. Now, the new Encanto ride will take us into the Madrigal's Casita, which has brought the furniture to life for us to travel through the various rooms in the house. We'll encounter some of our favorite characters from the film, but the day we arrive is the day Antonio gets his magical gift. His room has just been transformed into a beautiful rainforest, and it's filled with lush tropical landscapes along with all of his new animal friends. Now, in terms of a ride system, we know it's not a boat ride since they're gathering furniture to bring us through the house. So it's either going to be trackless or an Omnimover. But either way, this is going to be a massive ride. Tropical Americas is set to open at Animal Kingdom in 2027. Number 7. For years now, all of us Disney fans have been anticipating the return of the Paint the Night Parade. And now the moment is finally here. Disneyland shared this teaser on Instagram back in October with the caption, "When can we do this again?" and with a pinned comment that said, "Stay tuned for more." So it's pretty evident that the high-energy nighttime parade will be returning to Disneyland in 2025. Originally, Paint the Night debuted for Disneyland's 60th anniversary in 2015, so it appears it's now making a return for Disneyland's 70th anniversary next year. No official dates or details have been revealed, but just recently, the floats were seen heading back onto resort property. The last time the Paint the Night Parade was seen in California was in 2018, which feels like forever ago. So it's gonna be so great getting this parade back into the parks. Number 6. The Christmas festivities at Walt Disney World are in full swing, and this is what to expect at the parks, including some new offerings for this year. Hollywood Studios is one of my favorites for Christmas, and this year, Sunset Season's Greetings has returned with nightly showings, plus there is other daily entertainment at the park, including the holiday edition of the Frozen Sing-Along. Jollywood Nights, the special ticketed event, is also back for its second year, and you can expect all the same offerings from last year. This includes the live stage shows, special meet and greets, and nighttime spectaculars. But this year, a brand new ice skating show called Glisten was added right in front of the Chinese theater. Over at Animal Kingdom, Merry Menagerie is back in Discovery Island, and with phase closures set to begin for Dinoland next year, this will be the final season to see the holiday lights in the land. To honor the last holiday season in Dinoland, there's also a brand new location to meet Santa Claus on the patio of Restaurantosaurus. Then over at Magic Kingdom, the park welcomes the return of the Jingle Cruise, where all your favorite Jungle Cruise puns get some holiday flair. There's Frozen Holiday Wish that's performed nightly on the castle stage, and on select nights, you can attend Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. The special ticketed event has returned with all the classic entertainment we know and love. Then over at Epcot, Festival of the Holidays begins on November 29th. This includes the return of nightly presentations of the Candlelight Processional, as well as the Holiday Storytellers, which are my all-time favorite part of the festival. Number 5. 2024 marked the first year Disney took their D23 Expo to Brazil, which just happened on the weekend of November 8th. Although all the announcements were things we already knew about, there were some new details shared for projects opening in 2025. So first off, we got this brand new piece of concept art for the Pirates Bar coming to Adventureland in Magic Kingdom. This new dimly lit tavern will extend the story of Pirates of the Caribbean, and so far it seems like it'll feature 2 different rooms. Then in terms of Disney Starlight, the new nighttime parade coming to Magic Kingdom next summer, they shared the first look at the Moana float. She'll join other characters from Peter Pan, Frozen, Encanto, and more. I'm really liking the designs of the floats. They have this elegance to them that I think will fit into Magic Kingdom very well. Now that's all for 2025 editions, but there was some new information shared for the expansions coming to Magic Kingdom. First off, the backstory for Villain's Land was revealed.
In our story, a mysterious spell has been cast, summoning all these villains from every realm. And in this land, the heroes, they don't come to save the day, and there might not be a happily ever after.
This sounds like a land that will be so rich in detail, and it will include 2 major rides, dining, shopping, and more. Now when it comes to the Cars expansion in Frontierland, they shared some new test footage for the major e-ticket ride. Laughing Place on Twitter shared this video which shows the full-scale track Imagineers are using to test the layout for the Cars rally race. As you can see, this will be a very different experience than Radiator Springs Racers at DCA. Now, for the purpose of the test, there appears to be drivers in these vehicles, but this sort of trackless ride system already exists. Back in 2017, Dynamic Attractions debuted their all-terrain dark ride vehicle. It uses a proprietary and exclusive technology that creates an exciting and chaotic ride experience that would be perfect for Cars. Dynamic Attractions has also had a hand in helping develop a few other Disney rides, like Soarin', Test Track, and Radiator Springs Racers. The Cars Rally Race attraction will be a big transformation for Frontierland, and construction is set to begin next year. Number 4. On November 15th, the Disneyland Resort officially kicked off the holiday season, which runs until January 6th. Many holiday favorites made a comeback, including It's a Small World Holiday, Haunted Mansion Holiday, A Christmas Fantasy Parade, which is one of the most quintessential Disney Christmas offerings, as well as the nighttime spectacular Believe in Holiday Magic. Now new for 2024, the Fantasyland Theater is hosting Holiday Fun with Santa and Friends. In addition to getting the chance to meet the big jolly guy himself, other Disney characters will join in the fun, plus there's craft making and sing-alongs. Over at Disney California Adventure, returning, we have the usual Christmas overlay on Cars Land, which is always very charming. There are daily performances of the Holiday Toy Drummers, as well as Mickey's Happy Holidays Cavalcade, and then nightly, you can catch World of Color Seasons of Light. Now, the park also has a couple new entertainment offerings for 2024. Over at the entrance to Paradise Gardens Park, from Monday to Friday, you can catch daily performances of Mirabelle's Gifts of the Season. Mirabelle and her friends bring everyone together for their very own Fiesta de Navidad celebration. With this new show, expect live performances of many songs from the film, as well as appearances from Luisa, Isabella, and Bruno. Then on Saturdays and Sundays, you're able to catch the return of the Viva Navidad Street Party, which is always one of my favorites at DCA. It truly becomes a street party filled with so much dancing, music, and Christmas spirit. Then Monday to Friday nights on Buena Vista Street, you can catch A Musical Christmas with Mariachi Alegría and Miguel. This is also new for 2024. Mariachi Alegría, accompanied by dancers, treat guests to bilingual performances of beloved Christmas songs, and then at the end of the show, there's a special appearance from Miguel. In addition to other character appearances and entertainment, the Disneyland Resort is packed with tons of festive fun. Number 3. Over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, The Little Mermaid: A Musical Adventure was originally set to debut fall of this year. But in an unexpected announcement, the opening of the show has now been pushed to summer of 2025. From what I heard, the show was already cast and they were in rehearsals. So why was it postponed? Well, this is just my speculation, but I think it has to do with the new Monsters Inc. land coming to the park. If you remember back at D23, there appeared to be plans for Monsters Inc. to replace either Muppets or Animation Courtyard. Now, realistically, The Little Mermaid: A Musical Adventure was in development well before Animation Courtyard was a serious contender for Monsters Inc. A lot of us believe that the concept for Animation Courtyard was more of a last-minute decision. Currently, the exit for the Animation Courtyard Theater dumps everyone right into the land, which would interfere with Monsters Inc. So in my opinion, I feel like they're redirecting the queue and exit so it all comes off the front to make way for Monsters Inc. This is all additional work that wasn't accounted for in the original budget, which in my opinion, again, is why the project was pushed into summer of 2025. At D23 Brazil, it was confirmed again that Monsters Inc. construction will begin next year, so we'll just have to wait and see where it all ends up. Number 2. On October 15th, the Hungry Bear restaurant at Disneyland reopened as the Hungry Bear BBQ Jamboree. Themed after the Country Bear Jamboree, you can now find pictures of all the iconic bear characters all around the restaurant. Now, it's in the name, but this reimagined quick-service restaurant offers a pretty great barbecue menu, so definitely come with an appetite. I ended up trying the smoked barbecue combo platter, and I added some corn ribs to it. Now, starting off with the sides, the baked beans had a sweet barbecue flavor with pieces of pork in it. It was really delicious. I literally could have eaten a huge bowl. Now, the coleslaw was just very okay, bordering on being kinda soggy, so next time I'd probably just double up on the beans. Now, for meat, the options were 2 choices of either pork spare ribs, pulled pork, or beef brisket. I'm not the biggest fan of beef brisket, so I ended up doing pulled pork and the ribs. Now, the pulled pork was moist and full of tons of flavor, even without any barbecue sauce. There are 3 different flavors of sauce available in the restaurant, but the pulled pork was a solid 9 out of 10. Then the ribs, they had a great smoky taste and they were literally fall off the bone. I also love the dry rub on them. Again, solid 9 out of 10. As for the corn ribs, for an extra $5.49, I'd say they're kind of a ripoff. They tasted good with this kind of tangy, creamy chipotle sauce, but there really wasn't much corn on them. That's all I had time to try, but overall, this was some pretty good barbecue food. I'd love to try more next time I visit because, as you can see, it all looks very delicious. Definitely give the restaurant a shot. Number 1. Not only did November 15th mark the beginning of the holiday season at Disneyland, but it was also the opening of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, as well as the official renaming of Critter Country to Bayou Country. It is so great hearing the screams coming down that big drop. Now, the entire experience is very similar to the ride at Magic Kingdom. When it comes to the queue, there were all the same scenes as we saw in Florida, including Tiana's office and kitchen, but everything was just kind of smaller to fit the space. It was still full of tons of details though, including their tributes to Splash Mountain. This one is found in the office, and then this one is on the fireplace mantle. Now, in terms of the story, like I said before, it's the exact same as Magic Kingdom. We embark on a journey into the Bayou to help Tiana and Louis find a band to play for the Mardi Gras celebration. The outdoor section of the ride was practically the exact same, but then when you get inside the Bayou, that's where there was a lot of spacing and layout differences. It kind of flowed a little better, and I'd say the actual ride experience here at Disneyland is far superior. Now, Disneyland has always had the faster logs, and the speed in which you travel down the flume also helps solve a lot of the dead space seen in Magic Kingdom. Both rides have the exact same amount of animatronics and screens, but here at Disneyland, there's just enough happening in the Bayou where you can catch it all and not be overwhelmed like you were on Splash Mountain. I initially thought it might be too dialogue heavy, but after physically being on the ride, it was honestly a perfect balance. Around every corner, there's something new happening, furthering the plot every time. Watch this to kind of get an idea of how speed makes all the difference.
I'm asking all of them to play at the call, but we've got to keep searching high and low.
How long can I go?
Time to think big. Time to get tiny.
You can really tell the ride was designed for Disneyland. Even the light effect up the big lift hill looks better since the opening is smaller, letting in less light. I'd go as far to say that Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Disneyland is much more exciting. I also appreciate how you pass through the finale a bit slower as well. There's a lot going on in the scene, so it gives you more time to take it all in. Now, for the initial opening period, Tiana's Bayou Adventure will be using a virtual queue and will also be available through Lightning Lane. For the virtual queue, there are 3 opportunities a day to join. Once at 7 a.m. where you don't need to be in the park, then at 12 noon and 4 p.m. where you do need to be in the park. Honestly, the ride here seems to be much more reliable than Magic Kingdom, and with the colder weather just around the corner, I could see them taking the ride off virtual queue sooner rather than later. Now, in addition to Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Bayou Country has also welcomed 2 new shops. We have Lewis's Critter Club in the back of the land, and then Ray's Berets right in the front. There were a lot of really nice details in here that transports you right into the bayou. Tiana's Bayou Adventure was such a great addition to Disneyland. So, what new attractions or changes are you looking forward to the most? I'd love to know. Leave a comment down below to start a conversation, and don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video.